Okay, what's up? I'm back with another video. It's been a minute since I did a video. The last movie review video that I did do was for Ready Player One, and that was like way back in like April or something. So I'm just due for another one. So this one is about the new Halloween movie. It's a highly anticipated movie. Everybody's pretty much seen it by now. I've seen bits and pieces of what people thought about the movie so far, and it's getting really good reviews. So yeah, I mean, going into it, I didn't really have any prior knowledge of the other Halloween movies because it's been a while since I've seen a Halloween movie. The last one that I remember seeing was Halloween H2O. That was way back in like '99 or something like that. Like, it's been pretty much 20 years since I've seen another Halloween movie. So yeah, going into it, I didn't really have no prior knowledge or just like any preconceived notions on how they was gonna do this movie and stuff like that, because I'm not really like a crazy fan of Halloween like that. Like I'm a general fan of the Halloween franchise. I'm a general fan of the Michael Myers character. So I do like the franchise. I do like Michael Myers, but I'm just not really into it like that, to where I know the history of the character, know the plot of each movie and how each movie lines up. You know, I've watched a couple videos on YouTube where they break down like the history of the Halloween franchise and stuff like that. But I think I'm gonna go back and watch those old videos to kind of like refresh my memory on like what this whole like story is about. Because like I said, it's been a while. So I've watched a couple videos on YouTube like years ago on just explaining the Halloween movies. And I know it's a pretty interesting franchise. They kind of like, it started off strong, and then like, of course, with all horror movies, like towards the end, they just keep coming out with sequel after sequel after sequel, and they just like water down the franchise. Especially with this one, it's gotten like really ridiculous, like, you know, as they progress and progress and progress. Because I mean, with horror, man, it's like, it's really hard to kind of like come up with new ideas and stuff like that. And if you keep reprising it, keep doing it, after a while it gets stale. And this franchise fell victim to that, I mean, in my opinion. Same with the Jason franchise, same with Freddy Krueger. A lot of them in the beginning, they started off strong, but then once they came out with all these ridiculous sequels, it's kind of like it got ridiculous, and you couldn't really take the character seriously anymore. So definitely Halloween really needed like a reboot, like a reprise. Just needed just a brand new movie, man, to kind of like get people back into it again. And I felt like this movie did that, because this movie is really good. It's like back to normal again, back to the ways how the old Halloween movies used to be. So yeah, it's really good, man. I can't really say much. It's one of the things I did like is it's set in this current year, so it's set in 2018, but it doesn't feel like that. Like the setting, the way how it's shot, it feels like an old Halloween movie. Like you could take this movie and we could try time travel back to like the late 70s and put it like right in the mix of the original Halloween movies, and it will fit perfectly. It will fit really nice, because like I said, like how it's shot and everything, if you're a Halloween fan, if you're a Michael Myers head, like if you're like a crazy big Halloween fan, like I cannot see you not liking this movie. Like you have to fall in love with this movie, man, because it definitely goes back to its essence. It goes back to the spirit of what the original Halloween movies was about, and that's basically one of his strong suits, man. They did a really good job with this film. You know, I can't praise it enough. Like, you know, Michael Myers is back, you know what I'm saying? So he's definitely back hacking and slashing, and you know, it's good to see Jamie Lee Curtis back again, and I really liked her character a lot. You know, showed Jamie Lee Curtis's daughter and showed Jamie Lee Curtis's granddaughter, so it's definitely a really good movie. Yeah, it's basically about, you know, Michael Myers breaking out of the mental facility once again, and you know, Jamie Lee Curtis is trying to stop him. So I mean, I'm not really gonna go into the plot here. With my movie reviews, I really don't go into the plot and stuff like that. But yeah, it's really good. You know, I can't really can't really think of any negatives to say about the film, man. It's you definitely gotta go out and see it. If you're a Halloween fan, if you're a Michael Myers fan, if you like horror movies, definitely go out and see it. It's super good. You know, definitely. I would say one thing. I mean, this movie it's not really a scary movie. It's more so like a suspense kind of like thriller kind of movie to me. Like the horror element is kind of like, the horror element is there, of course, but it's not like as intense. You know what I'm saying? This is just like classic suspense, serial killing, you know, pretty much that's what this movie is. And it does give you that. You know, as far as the kills, I mean, the kills are not, I mean, they're basic kills. I mean, you've seen them in every single horror movie or every single suspense movie. So the kills is not really that special. And as far as the gore, like the gore is not really there. There is gore in the movie. There's blood, of course, but it's not really it wouldn't really like kind of like make you squeamish or anything. And I'm a very squeamish person, and to me it was just like, But I will say this, like some of the kills, it's kind of like, I mean, I'm kind of sensitive to like when people are struggling, when somebody's trying to kill them. So I felt like in some scenes they really did express that. Like there was one scene where this girl is, you know, dying in the bathroom, and I mean, to me that scene was kind of intense because, like I said, I don't really like seeing people struggling. Like when somebody's killing somebody else, like I don't like to see when, you know, people are screaming for pain, and I'm a little bit sensitive towards that. And I felt like this film kind of like expressed that in some scenes. It's not in every single like killing scene, but like in those beginning scenes when Michael Myers first breaks out and he starts killing like his first few victims, like some of the scenes is definitely like that. Another one, I guess, go into some negatives here. Like one negative, well, it's not really a negative, it's just something that I kind of pinpoint. It seems like Michael Myers doesn't kill kids for some reason. Like it's kind of inconsistent, because like there's one scene where he first breaks out of the mental facility, like the bus that he's in, because I think they're transporting him over to another facility. It gets into an accident somehow. I guess Michael Myers kind of like went crazy and started like slashing up the security guards, because you don't see when the bus gets into the accident. You just see like when the bus is like on the side of the road, like kind of flipped over. So like there's this son, and there's the son of the father in a pickup truck. They're coming down the road, and then they see the bus on the side, you know, on the side of the road. So they stop, and there's a whole bunch of, because you know they're carrying mental patients, so they're all on the road. And you know the son and the father, they're kind of like, what the hell is going on? They see the bus, you know, they see there's an accident. So the father goes out to try to help the mental victims, and he doesn't really come back. So the boy is still in the car, and then there's a phone inside, and he's calling the cops, you know, to report the scene of what happened. And basically there's a gun in the car that he's in, so he's going out to try to find his father. And like he sees a cop on the side of the road, like he's all bloodied up, and he's like laying down, basically almost dead. He's not dead, but he's almost dead. And the cop who's almost dying, he's telling him just to run. And of course the boy doesn't run, so he goes into the bus, where he sees one of the main characters in the movie. He's like if you're a big Halloween fan, you may remember Dr. Loomis. He's kind of like that character in the movie. Like he's in the bus when the boy goes in there, and like he pops up, so he scares the kid, and the kid shoots him, and he kind of like runs off, kind of scared, and then he runs back to his father's pickup truck. He's like sitting inside, and basically pretty much Michael Myers kills him. But then in the other scene, like when he's walking down the street, when you know he's walking down the street where all the kids are like trick-or-treating and you know, doing their Halloween thing, and he doesn't really do anything to them. And then there's this other scene where he goes into someone's house and he kills someone in the house, and then there's a baby in there, and then he doesn't kill the baby. And then there's another scene where he goes into another house, which is one of the main character's friends. She gets killed by Michael Myers, and she was babysitting a little boy, and I don't even know what happened to the kid. Like, they never showed like what happened to him, because Michael Myers never touched him. So it was just funny to see that he killed one kid in the beginning scene when he first broke out, but then he didn't really kill other. It was kind of, I mean, it's not really, I mean, that just may be me, but that's something that jumped out to me, is like, you know, why did he kill that kid and not spare the lives of other kids? Like, that didn't really make sense to me. And just the whole motive behind of his killings, like, it's still a mystery almost. That's the other thing that I didn't really like. It didn't really take away from the movie at all. But I'm the type of person, like, when somebody does those kind of like violent acts, I like to know like why, like the motive behind, like what's going on in your head, what's your whole like psychology, like what's going on with you, like why are you doing this? So you don't really get that, but that's the point with the whole Halloween franchise. That's the point with a lot of horror movies. It's like that mystique with the killer of itself. Like, you don't know his motives, you don't know the real reason why he's doing what he does. So it kind of, you kind of like come up with your own kind of conclusions as to why he does what he does. And it, like I said, it keeps I feel like it keeps the story fresh, because you'll be always looking for something. You'll be always looking for little things within the movie to kind of pinpoint as to why he's doing this. So I can understand why they don't go into his whole character, like go into depth of, you know, why does he do the things that he does. Because they, like I said, you have to keep the especially if you want to make more movies and more movies, you want to keep it rolling. So I feel like if you go into Michael Myers too deep, the mystique and what you like from the character may go away once you know everything about him. So I kind of understand why they don't do that. But to me, it's just like, it's like you're just killing people just to kill people. And I know he's doing it I know he's probably going through some really deep mental issues. So, but they don't really explain like the whole, like his mental state. Like, they don't really, there's like hints and bits and pieces of stuff, but it's not really, like, people are trying to figure this character out. People are trying to figure this guy out. Like the doctor and the two investigative journalists, they're trying to figure him out. And even Jamie Lee Curtis is trying to figure him out to a certain extent. So yeah, that whole thing as to the whole motive behind his killings, the whole motive as to why he does the things that he does. That's one of the things I didn't really like. But like I said, it's not supposed to be like that. You're supposed to always be in suspense, always, like, it's always supposed to be question marks, because it keeps your attention, especially as as more movies comes out, like, just to keep that whole franchise fresh. If you want to keep making more movies, you want to like just throw little things in there, like throw little things in each movie for people to kind of pick and pinpoint and kind of like draw their own conclusions as to, you know, why this character does what he does. So I understand that, so I'm not really gonna harp on that too much. But other than that, I can't really think of any other negatives. Like, the characters is really good, and you know, I really like Jamie Lee Curtis's character as, you know, that protective kind of like grandmother and mother, and you know, her daughter and her granddaughter, they're like, you know, what happened to you happened over 30 years ago, like, let it go, get over it, you know, he's not coming back, blah blah blah, you know. And she's trying to tell him, like, look man, I'm trying to help you, I'm trying to save you. And they find out in the end. Yeah, I'll say that much, they did find out in the end. But I really like her character, man. Like, they really did a good job. So it's an awesome movie. Definitely go out and see it. if you're a big Halloween fan, if you're a big Michael Myers fan, you probably already saw it by now. And if you didn't get a chance to see it for whatever reason, definitely, the first chance you get, definitely go out and see it, man. It's well done movie, and I'm glad I saw it. And I just know that more movies are coming, more Halloween movies are gonna come. So yeah, be on the lookout for that, I guess. So I'm gonna end it right here. Thank you guys for watching. Click subscribe, whatever. Yeah, do what you you know, if you like the video, subscribe. Really doesn't matter to me, man. I'm just glad that you actually listened to me for 15 minutes. So yeah, thank you once again, and yeah, have a good night, good day, good vibes, whatever. Yeah.